Hello, my name is Samuel Prentice. I've been at Veritas for 3 years in the diploma program, and I come from England in a town called Ipswitch. It was very welcoming, actually. It was, if you're taking the omnibus course, they aren't just American books. It's not American centric. It captures the breadth of the reality that is playing out across the world. I took United States government, for example, and when I was struggling, like they were willing to put the entire class on hold if need be to get in, and they take you and they lift you up through the courses that are required. Coming in, it sounded scary. I was like, what am I going to do with all these weird Americans? I don't know how to handle it. But no, it was welcoming, it was building, and it removed any potential obstacles to the education that I was there to take. There were definitely particular events when I would bring a different perspective at the end of this year. In fact, my United States government teacher commented on the perspective difference and the fact that sometimes your assumptions and the way you expect things to be handled is just different. So yes, World War II, we tend to focus far more on the early part of the war when it was just Britain and then fades out towards the end. But yeah, it was different. It wasn't insurmountable. It wasn't sort of friendship ending, but it was different, and it enriched the whole experience. Partially it's just the place of the graduation. It's this culmination. It's you've done it. Well done. Bravo. Yeah, and that was cool. But also you build friends. We live in a digital world now where people are always contacting, and we'll often joke that people who say you can never make friends online have clearly never tried, because that you have to be careful and you have to be cautious, and everyone has a tale about a time they got caught out, but you build those friendships over the classes, over the external contacts, and I really wanted to come and meet them in person and solidify them, as it were. I learned how to read well, and how you often, when you get new students, they're talking about, it's so many books, I can't handle it. And yeah, sometimes it's a lot, but you learn how to do the quantity, but you also learn how to grapple with these old thinkers and how they thought and the principles they were playing with, and how to extract that and not just sit at the feet of them and learn, but then to take that learning forward into your own thinking. That is something I will take with me from Veritas. I'll be honest, I'm grateful I'm on the other side of Latin. Latin was not my strong suit. It is valuable. It is, you hear all these things, but it really is the foundation of most modern European languages. Even today, I was looking at a language, Irish. Never studied Irish before, but I was looking at the words going, I recognize these words. These are the Latin words. And it doesn't just teach you a language, but it teaches you the structures of the language that you can then take and apply to other situations, in both linguistically and in your life more generally. It is daunting. But it is not insurmountable. It is doable, and it is worth it. When you get to the end and you begin to go out and see the world, you realize how unique Veritas is and how rich and precious the experiences you will get through Veritas are. So in Britain, we're 5 hours ahead, which meant we were sitting all our classes in the afternoon. It often just meant you had to be a little bit more organized sometimes. You had to know if you wanted to reach out to your the teachers were very attentive to the needs of their students. They were there when you needed them. It was very rare that you were waiting more than a day tops for a response to an email or something. Sometimes you had to be creative about how you're fitting things in. It wasn't a massive difficulty to negotiate them. So after high school, I'm taking a gap year. I'm going up to work with the church. Actually, it came out of Omnibus. I was like, I love doing this. I love the way Omnibus is structured. So I went to a friend of ours who's a pastor up there, and I explained it and said, would you be happy to work through the Bible with me? And he was like, yeah, this is great. So that's entirely organic. That's just going. So I'm going to go up and work with that church for a bit, and then see where the Lord takes me after that. I definitely see it. I definitely see a difference. In England, there's a lot of sort of hoop jumping in education. Here's this test, sit this test. Whereas Veritas is far more, they use the test as a means of measuring where the education is rather than the culmination of the education. I'll often explain it as sort of, it's just a classical education. It's got more reading, basically. There's a lot of reading. And it's far more logic-based rather than sort of what we have in Britain.